Ever since the mid-1980s, we've been talking about ultraviolet and luminescent additives in lure skirts and lure heads. It's only in the last few years that there have been major developments in both of those. The luminescence powders that we used to use years ago only lasted about 10 minutes, 15 minutes when you switched out the lights, and the UV additives weren't particularly bright. But in the last few years, there have been some major advances in both luminescence powders, which now last 10 to 15 hours, and the UVs are much, much brighter. Humans don't actually see ultraviolet light, but there's very good reason to believe that fish do. Ultraviolet light is on the other side of blue in the rainbow spectrum that we see as humans, and it penetrates far deeper than any of the colour spectrums that humans are aware of. If fish didn't, for example, see UV, then they wouldn't need eyes in the depths that they go to. In fact, many of the deep water fish wouldn't have eyes at all if they couldn't see with them. And we do believe that UV is an incredibly important wavelength of light in the oceans for predators and bait fish. As you can see now, we've got the ultraviolet light on. Even though humans can't see ultraviolet, we're actually seeing an indication of what the UV light looks like to many animals. As you can see with the additives, even the darkest colours are shining incredibly bright. The luminescent colours, such as the green here, are incredibly bright. If we switched out the lights, they would glow. But as you can see, the UV additives do add an awful lot of brightness to the skirts and the lure in general, which the fish can see from a very long way away. The latest UV additives are in our crystal skirts. Those additives will be put in all the skirts and lure heads in future production. UV additives have become accepted as being important in saltwater lure fishing, to the point now where many manufacturers have labels on them, UV additives, super UV additives and all that sort of thing. And I'm very proud to say we've been doing it since the mid-1980s.